Before we begin this incredible journey through time, I have a small favor to ask. If you enjoy stories like this and want to see more epic adventures, consider supporting my work on Ko-fi. Every donation helps me create bigger, better, and more exciting stories for you. Now, sit back, relax, and let's travel across the past, the future, and beyond time itself. Tom was not an ordinary inventor. Since childhood, he had been obsessed with one question: what if time was not a river, but a road? For 20 years, he worked alone in a hidden underground laboratory. He spent every dollar he earned building the greatest invention humanity had ever seen. The invention was called the velocity chamber. It was a gigantic room made of titanium and crystal-like energy panels. Thousands of glowing circuits covered the walls. In the center stood a circular platform surrounded by advanced quantum engines. At the far end of the chamber stood something impossible, a door made of pure light. Tom had discovered a theory that nobody believed. He believed that if an object could manipulate the fabric of space and reach a special velocity beyond normal physical limits, it could punch a hole through time itself. After years of failures, explosions, and setbacks, the machine finally worked. The moment had arrived. Tom stepped into the chamber. The engines roared. Blue energy filled the room. The glowing door opened, and Tom disappeared. His first destination was the Stone Age. The world was wild and untouched. Massive forests covered the land. Giant animals roamed freely. Early humans lived in caves and hunted with stone weapons. Tom watched them struggle to survive. He learned how they made fire and witnessed the birth of human civilization. For months, he lived among them, but curiosity pushed him forward. He returned to the velocity chamber. His next jump would take him much farther. The age of dinosaurs. The moment Tom arrived, the ground shook beneath his feet. Towering dinosaurs walked across endless plains. Massive predators hunted in the distance. Flying reptiles filled the skies. The beauty was breathtaking, but danger was everywhere. One evening, a gigantic predator attacked his camp. Tom barely escaped by activating an emergency jump through the time door. As he vanished, he watched the creature roar into the fading portal. His heart raced. For the first time, he realized time travel could kill him. Years passed as Tom explored history: ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, the Roman Empire, medieval kingdoms, the rise and fall of empires. He witnessed glorious victories and terrible wars. He watched civilizations rise from dust and return to dust again. Yet one thing remained unchanged: humanity never stopped fighting. Then everything changed. In the year 2137, Tom met a woman named Sophia. She was a brilliant scientist studying temporal physics. Sophia was fearless, intelligent, and kind. For the first time in his life, Tom was not alone. Together, they explored history. Together, they discovered forgotten civilizations. Together, they laughed. Together, they fell in love. But time had a cruel price. Sophia belonged to the future. Tom belonged to every era. No matter how much they loved each other, they could never truly stay together. The flow of time kept pulling them apart. One day, Tom decided to travel farther than anyone had ever gone, 10,000 years into the future. The jump lasted longer than usual. The chamber shook violently. When the door finally opened, Tom stepped into a world he barely recognized. Earth had changed. The population was dramatically smaller. Centuries of wars had reduced humanity. Entire continents looked different. Many coastlines had vanished beneath rising oceans. The people themselves had changed. They were shorter than modern humans. Most looked remarkably similar. Genetic engineering had removed many physical differences. Cities floated in the sky. Gigantic transparent domes covered entire regions. Artificial intelligence managed nearly everything. Disease was nearly gone. Poverty was almost unknown. Even space travel had become incredibly cheap. Families traveled between planets the same way people once took airplanes, but the greatest surprise awaited him. Time travel was common. Thousands of time gates existed across Earth. Children learned temporal science in school. Humanity had mastered time itself, or so it seemed. Behind the perfect future hid a terrible secret. A powerful organization known as the Eternal Council controlled access to history. They secretly altered events to increase their own power. Wars were erased, leaders were replaced, entire timelines had been manipulated. Human history itself had become a weapon. When Tom discovered the truth, he became their enemy. The Council wanted control of all time. Tom wanted freedom. A temporal war began. Battles erupted across centuries. Soldiers appeared and vanished through portals. Ancient battlefields collided with futuristic armies. History itself became a battlefield. During the final conflict, Tom reunited with Sophia. Together, they led a rebellion against the Eternal Council. The battle stretched across thousands of years simultaneously. Every second felt like an eternity. At the climax of the war, Tom reached the original source of temporal manipulation, a giant machine hidden beyond time itself. If activated, it would allow one person to control all of history forever. Tom had a choice: unlimited power or freedom. Without hesitation, he destroyed the machine. The explosion echoed across every timeline. History repaired itself. The council collapsed. Humanity was free again. Years later, an older Tom stood before the glowing time door one last time. He had seen dinosaurs, empires, world wars, alien colonies, the birth and death of civilizations. He had witnessed humanity at its best and worst. And despite everything, he still believed in people. Before shutting down the velocity chamber forever, he left a message for future generations. Time is not something to conquer. It is something to understand. The future is not written. Every choice creates tomorrow. The door closed, the engines fell silent, and the greatest journey in history finally came to an end. But somewhere, across the endless ocean of time, the story of Tom still lives on. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you enjoyed Tom's journey through time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next adventure. And if you'd like to help support the creation of more original stories like this, you can support me on Ko-fi. Every bit of support means the world and helps bring these stories to life. Until the next adventure, remember, every choice creates tomorrow.